Hello. Welcome everyone. Happy 11/11. I was listening to some of the amazing things that you guys are saying right now. I feel so blessed. Every time I open my phone, the truth is, actually, I'll be quite honest here. Sometimes when I open up my phone, I get overwhelmed. And I'm like, oh man, it's gonna take me forever to get through these messages. And I realized that I can't resist it or put off doing it, that I just have to do it. I owe it to you guys for giving your time to me, that, I'm going to respond. And I always personalize every message, and I know you all very personally. But I do feel that overwhelming, and I'm like, well, you choose your problems. Having a lot of messages on your phone and really amazing people to connect with is a pretty good problem to have. And if you're going to be overwhelmed by something, why not it be love? And it's taken me a while to get to this mindset. And once I had it, the more I realized every message I get from you guys is so filled with love and passion. It just lights me up. And I want to say thank you, first of all, just thank you for sharing with me your journey. Thank you for sharing with me your amazing feedback. Thank you for sharing with me your love and gratitude towards each other, and how it is that you're helping lift each other up and support each other, as we go through this wild ride we call life. Like Bill Hicks said, it's just a ride. Alan Watts, it's a dance. Life is a dance. I'm grateful to be going through it, whatever it is, a journey, a dance, a ride, to be going through it with such amazing people. So thank you. And please keep sending in your messages, your feedback, your love and appreciation for each other too. It means so much. It really does. And it goes all around. It means something to me. It means something to Tristan. It means something to Finn. It means something to Anastasia. It means something to every single one of our members. Right. So for today, I wanted to talk about decisiveness. And, this was one of those instances where decisiveness, I had to make the decision to answer those messages, and not only make the decision to answer them, but to have specific time blocks that I do such things. Time blocking your time for social media, for content creation, for cell phone time, for laptop time, for self-care time, for outside time, for kid time, for all of it. Time blocks are pretty essential, and making a decision and sticking to that decision around what each time block is going to be and when that's going to be is going to be really helpful when it comes to outwitting that devil, that indecisiveness that stops you from being successful. When you don't have a decision, then you're not taking any action. Then you're going with the flow. And the only person that goes with the flow is a dead corpse, okay? There is a difference between being in the flow state of mind and going with the flow. Like Terence McKenna said, if you don't have a plan, you'll fall into somebody else's plan. So have a plan, be decisive, make decisions, know what you're going to do. And trust me, this is not easy. I'm a Libra. You know what that means in the horoscope world? That means the scales. That means I'm always looking for the yin yang. That means I'm always looking for the good and the bad. I'm always looking for the good in the bad. I'm always looking for the bad in the good. I am looking for balance. I'm looking for justice. I'm looking for everything to be 120,000% fair, because I don't think 100% fair is good enough. Making decisions was always so hard for me because I was always so split down the middle, and it was really hard to focus. It's hard to focus for me, being diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, anxiety, OCD, blah, 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 blah. It was hard for me to make decisions being a Libra. It was hard for me to make decisions because I'm a woman. And men, you can think very linear on a straight line. Us women, we're starbursts. You know, I always got told, you know, your head's in the clouds, get your heads out of the clouds. You know, one of the first things I do when I get on my first airplane, take a picture of the clouds. I'm in the clouds now, you guys. But what I'm saying here is that decision is going to get you where you want to be. And if you're not making decisions, then you're not taking a single pointed focused action, which means you're not going to get the results that you want, which means you're going with the flow and you're going to accept something that's less than what you deserve or less than your goal. And my goal as your coach here is to help you get what you want or better. So your decision, your goal, your definitive purpose, you want that or better, not less. This is not going with the flow. You can get in the flow state of mind and take all the correct action steps to get there. That would be wonderful. Going with the flow, not so much. You're going to end up, you know, in a beaver dam. And guess what? The beavers aren't going to be so happy to see you. You just mess with their dam. You're going to end up going down a waterfall, down a whole bunch of rocks. Yeah, it may be a little scary. You know, you might get a little damaged. You could live. You could not. You know, it's scary to know that there's a waterfall and to make the decision to go down it. And it may be because you see something good down there. It may be scary to make a decision to walk around the waterfall. It may take longer, but it's your decision and you're taking the action steps to get there. If you go with the flow, you're going to get battered and bruised. You may not make it. You may not make it to your destination. You may overshoot and go past your destination into somewhere you don't want to be. You know, has anybody ever, you know, gotten drunk on a bus and passed out and ended up in another place? I'm not saying I did that, but I definitely know someone who did. You know, they overshot their destination, you know, because they were going with the flow. So, you know, I want to say this. Now, another thing that keeps coming up, I've got many clients on the go right now, and over the years, more and more of you, seeking, you know, psychedelic integration coaching or even life coaching from me are now, you know, seeing such miraculous results in their life that now the ripple effect continues, and you want to change other people's lives. By becoming a coach, by becoming a professional in your space, by launching your own business, by changing careers out of the 9-to-5 or corporate into something that is of your own or something that is more holistic and natural and more aligned to you. And many of you are also coming to me saying that you want help to be a writer, to write a book, to publish your story, to tell your story, to speak about your story. And so I want to share with you my little secret for publishing books and being decisive. It's the same when it comes to publishing a book as it was for becoming a parent, as it was for, you know, any travel that I do, as it was for launching my own business, as it was for how I vote for my dollar vote with my dollar when it comes to grocery shopping. How it is that, you know, I choose to go down any road, really. And so I have both my books here. My cookbook, it was never published in paperback because it just wouldn't be worth it to sell it to you guys in that way. Get the ebook version, write down the recipe on a card, and hang it up on your kitchen counter so that you guys can use it that way. It just, yeah, I don't think it would have been worth it to turn it into a paperback, but these two I do. And this one, Rebirth, you can actually get in hardcover now. So the way that I was able to do and publish these books, write them, publish, stay on track, make the decision not only to do it, but also be the person who completes the job and do it while being a mom, while coaching clients, while working on a garden, while mastering my own self-care, while you know, building relationships while everything else that I do, communicating with you wonderful people every single day of my life, is because I broke it up into steps. I had a goal. My goal was publish a book. And so I decided that I was going to break it up into pieces, which my first book, Be the Change, does. It teaches you how to break everything that you want into the seasons so that you can become the change you want to see in the world within a year's time. So I broke it all up into the seasons, into the moon cycles, into the weeks, and such. And so that book, that's how I did it. I did it through the seasons. I broke down the seasons into the moon cycles. So every moon cycle, every 2 weeks, I would have a new subchapter done for that season. And because the book is about the seasons, it was easy to stay accountable because I would do the season as I'm going through it, as I'm learning, as I'm utilizing the resources and taking action on my own goals. So that was my trick there. And that's literally how I do my parenting. That is how I break down my self-care. That is how I break down everything to make sure that it all gets done. And that I stay accountable and that I stay decisive because I know what that definitive purpose is for me. This one, I did it a little bit different. I was reaching out to a bunch of people with articles that I was writing, stuff about the moon cycle, stuff about the seasons, recipes on food, so many things. I wasn't getting a result. And when I was in nutrition school and did hormone health course and did a coaching mastery course, and when I went to do my Reiki mentorship and get certified as a master in that, I realized nobody was talking about psychedelics. So what I started doing was just writing about it. I'm like, I felt really uncomfortable as a new mom and professional in my space talking about something that was illegal. I was really scared in that, but I couldn't help myself. So to understand better, I started writing about it. I had already published my first book. I had already published so many articles, like 300 or something, that never went anywhere other than to a few clients and of course for my own understanding. You know, there was purpose there for my own understanding. That's why we write, to understand. We teach to master. We read to learn. You know, so there are these things for a reason. So I understood what I was writing about in that time, but there was always something more, and that something more happened to be psychedelics and psychedelic integration. And so I started publishing articles on that. And as soon as I reached out, sociadelic.com picked up my articles and they published me for 2 years straight. So every month I would write one article. By the end, that was my book. You know, so anybody who doesn't want to pay for a book, go get the free articles that are already done. Anybody who wants it all in one piece where it's, you know, they can digest it, use a highlighter, take notes, read the paperback, stay off the tech, pay for the book. You know, but it's there either way. And the whole reason why I did it this way, after already having the experience of publishing one by the seasons and moon cycles to hold myself accountable, the reason why this way worked and possibly even better was because I was writing about something that I was passionate about, already writing it. It was already done. It was already said. I wanted to understand this because I was passionate about this. So I was putting it out once a month. By the end, everything was already written. Does that make sense? Like, it was already done because I was decisive. I was decisive that I wanted to write it. I was decisive that I wanted to get my story out. I was decisive that at the end, there would be a book. And there was. You know, and it's because I broke it up into those action steps to gain that definitive goal, to be definitive in your goal, or be definitive in a purpose or in a passion. that's doing the contemplation work. What is it that you truly want? How do you want to express yourself? Is it through art? Is it through writing? Is it through video creation? Is it through public speaking? Is it through one-on-one? One life at a time, which was my biggest thing. Or it's how I guess I prefer to do my coaching, is one-on-one by the individual. But I also have this passion inside of me for writing, because I get the positive reinforcement of understanding all that I've already learned, understanding all that I've already experienced. It keeps me inspired to continue learning more. And so that's why I chose writing as that outlet. And that's why I was definitive in that I'm going to be an author. So I hope that this helps you. I'm not 100% sure that I stayed on track here, but I hope there was something in this that you find useful. I know there's a couple people on here, but I'm going to pass it over to Tristan, just see if he has any questions around this or anything else that maybe would be helpful. What do you think?
What you said there about definitive purpose, I know Napoleon Hill said something very similar, but worded it a little bit different. And I know that was a big eye-opener for me, because it's so true. When you have just a clear idea of what you want to do, and you create what, through the channels that I study, they develop what's called a unlimited belief, which is very much the opposite to a limiting belief that we give ourselves. It's an unlimited belief. I'm going to accomplish this regardless as to what gets in my way. And then you're just trained
It's this or better.
Yeah, you're trained to look for the doorways. You're trained to look for the opportunities and not the obstacles. And you're
Yes.
if you want to call it the reticular activating system, however you want to think of it, you're just prone to see your pathway. To put it very, very briefly, if you go to, if you're out for a drive and your buddy just got a new blue truck, all of a sudden you're going to be seeing blue trucks everywhere because you're just cued to notice it. And the fact is that there's always opportunity, and there's always people who will help you, or pathways that you can take to accomplish your goals. And there's usually more than one pathway to take. It's just being aware and having that definitive purpose really clearly defined makes such a huge difference. And it's what you said, that you're seeing that other people and other clients, they're having a whole ton of success as well, because it's just getting them queued up to notice that. And you do it really confident too.
Thank you. You make a really good point there too. And you guys, I'm sure, notice by working with the medicines and just being aware of life in general, that the computers and the technology is very similar to our brain. The ideas come from somewhere. It's just a fractal of ourselves, just like the soil, a fractal of our gut. The tech is a fractal of our brain and those networks. And so if you want to think about the reticular activating system, you can think about it as an algorithm in the computer on Facebook or on Instagram, where it's directing the ads to you, right? It's like, once you make the decision that you're going to click on something once, or that you're going to say something while Google or Alexa's listening to you, you're getting all the advertisements on those specific items to you, whether you like it or not. And that's so how the universe works with the law of attraction too. This is why being definitive makes such a difference. If you know what you want, then you're going to find the solutions over the problems, because it's going to matter to you, because you're going for that which you want or something better. It's good to surrender once you tell the universe what you want, because sometimes it does have a better plan for you. There is no such thing as a worse plan. The only thing that makes anything worse is you getting in your own way. you settling for limiting beliefs, you settling for less than what you want, you settling for the obstacles instead of the solution. You know, I like to tell my clients too, you got a problem, I want 3 solutions. John Lennon was one of my favorite human beings, and I wish to God I met him. But instead, I just share a birthday with him, which I think is really awesome, October the 9th. And, you know, it's also often on Thanksgiving weekend too. So I always have that gratitude part, my gratitude for sharing a birthday with John Lennon. But one of my favorite quotes by him was, there are no problems, only solutions. And so I take that a step further. And I'm like, okay, well, whenever I'm faced with a problem, which do exist, you know, we all face obstacles, I'm going to offer up 3 solutions to every problem, at least 3. Sometimes I go beyond, especially if I can't even get 3 out. If I can't find 3 solutions, then I'm aiming for 5 solutions or 10 solutions, because I'm going to figure this thing out, because it means it's more important. It means life's testing me harder, and I need to pass that test because I know where I'm going, and I'm passionate enough to get there, and I have enough purpose to get there, and I'm definitive knowing that it's going to happen, and I can surrender and I can enjoy the ride along the way. You know, I'm not, you know, up there earning $10,000 and working with 1 client a month and get to do whatever I want with my millions of dollars. I'm enjoying the ride. I enjoy connecting with you guys every single day. I enjoy being barefoot and all muddy on my knees, being in the garden or in the forest. I'm happy being a mom and present with my child, you know, and I still have that definitive purpose while enjoying the ride, that I'm going to not only be an author, but that my books are going to get in the right hands of people exactly when they need them, and that it's going to help them. You know, I still have definitive purpose that I'm going to find the people who need my help. I'm going to get on Instagram, put on the cerebral helmet from X-Men, and I'm going to find all the other mutants out there, and I'm going to help them. I'm going to teach them how to use their divine human powers and how to reach that highest potential for themselves, whatever that means for them directly, whatever their powers are. You know, I'm definitive that I'm going to integrate permaculture with psychedelics and recreate the Garden of Eden. I am definitive that I'm going to host retreats on every one of the planet's energy centers and light up this world with all of the mentors that I love and really can't wait to meet and connect with in person. You know, some of them I have, some of them I haven't yet, but I'm definitive that that time will come. And that not only am I going to be like, oh, I'm your greatest fan. No, instead it's going to be, we're professionals and we're on a mission together. You know, that's what attracted me to these people. So I'm definitive that I'm going to meet with them and that I'm going to work with them and that I'm going to do something great with them. And that I'm going to do something great for this world. And I'm going to leave a good legacy behind. It's going to be Eden all over again. You know, there's this wonderful meme that, you know, I always say, when people say, what's your one word? You know, like Simon Sinek, one word. So my one word is Eden. I was raised Catholic. I am not Catholic. I don't even believe in Eden. I think that all that, like, I really agree with what Terence McKenna said, which is that it's all dogma passed down to make that we're like living from the sins, or that we're being punished for the sins of what happened to Eve and or what Eve did and whatever. And that's why women have childbirth and menstruation and all this stuff. It's like, oh my God, I hate it all, you know. But what I do like is the meme of you sitting there on a therapist desk being like, hey man, it had nothing to do with the had nothing to do with me eating the apple. It's that once I forget how it went, man. Now I'm messing it all up. I got so excited.
Had nothing to do with eating the apple, man. I ate the mushroom and snake started talking.
Yes, that was it. It had nothing to do with eating an apple. I ate the mushroom and the snake just started talking to me. But how great is that? You know, that empowered me. I used to have crazy nightmares about about snakes. They terrified me. I'd be in, yeah, I won't get too graphic, but at some points, it's like I would be in a cave as a little child, because I was a child at the time, and I would have snakes consuming me in a pit or in a cave, just going through every orifice of my body, like literally dragging me into the depths of hell, you know, turning me into a corpse, like completely controlling me and over consuming me. And like that, it devastated me for the longest time, and I wouldn't sleep. Sometimes I wouldn't even be able to sleep unless I went and I would turn the cold water on and the shower on, and I would lay naked on my bathroom floor as a child, listening to it as if it was rain, so that I could get some sleep by myself. Because if I had the rain for some reason, it would keep my nightmares away. It was a weird psychological thing. I actually don't think about too much anymore. But you know, now I think about the snake as kundalini energy, you know, just rising up, helping you be your full potential, breaking through every blockage that you have inside of your energy body, so that bam, you can be that best you, so that you can glow, so you can be that light energy, and that snake is actually a guide. And if you look into some of the old school stuff on Christianity, on Kundalini, on Enki, the snake, who is actually, you know, a good omen, not some evil slithering snake or Slytherin. You know, it was this great entity, a guide. And you know, I'm not saying any of these stories are real, but I'm saying it's quite interesting that only the ones that are fear-based made it to the masses, and when there's so many good ones out there. And that is actually a good thing, to have diversity in your life. All right, you guys, I could talk on and on, especially about diversity. My mind just started going into like all of it right now, but I think I'm gonna have to save that for another time, because I've got a really busy day today. So
I
I'm
have so
gonna let
many
you.
thoughts on diversity.
So many
Diverse thoughts on diversity. I got you.
You get it. All right, you guys, I love you all so much. Have for now. I'll talk soon. Bye.